In America, if you're interested in certain things, you're immediately branded black or white. But what is it to be Asian?
What creates community is shared problems.
That was like the 350 hit combo on Street Fighter.
And what makes us individuals is the answers that we come up with.
Whatever you do, it is Chinese, or it is Jamaican, or it is Puerto Rican, but it's in your own voice.
Don't tell me what needs to be offensive to me.
If there's one thing I hope people understand, it's that we're a lot more similar than we are different.
People this generation, they want the real.
Well, you know that from being a hip.
If you have to explain why something's good, it's probably not very good.
And like, until you told your story, the world hasn't heard it. So you just gotta go do it.
We are here for book talk and book signing with Eddie Huang, and Jeff Chang.
Kobayashi brothers in the house. Linda, did you see the drawing of Eddie Huang on the billboard there? It's very much similar to your poster you designed.
This is Jordan from the Jewish Community Center SF, Arts and Ideas.
Hey, this guy, he'll be in the center.
I get so many.
Remember this guy, Sean?
They let you in here. They tried to boot me out. I said, I'm coming in.
Yeah. No, we had a great dynamic. We loved working with the city.
Good.
Hey, excuse me, Gerald.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, Elliot, what's up? Thanks for DJing. I'm Wilson, board member here at Oakland Asian Cultural Center. Yeah, for sure. What's up, y'all?
I'm saying a lot of the similar things I did when I came in the door, which is communities are formed around shared problems. The solutions we find are what make us individuals, and that we are much more similar than we are different as human beings. That's all I've ever said. That's all I've ever wanted people to understand. And the golden rule, the simplest one that, Lao Tzu, Buddha, Jesus, and, Shakespeare have ever written about, Greeks, Romans, treat others the way you want to be treated yourself. It's the simplest thing, and so many of us writers are trying to say that over and over for people to understand. People, there's weirdos everywhere. There's weirdos everywhere, like New York, San Francisco, Oakland. I mean, these are some of the few cities in America where weirdos are really embraced. And I felt like part of a community in New York, and I started to become comfortable telling my story, and I wasn't defensive, and I didn't feel like I had to over-explain or I had to hedge, and I learned to be more comfortable in my own skin and respect myself.
It's been the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, the movement for Black Lives. And what I wanted to ask you about, since we are here in Oakland, right, we're here in the town, and this is so much a part of what we're working in through every day, is to sort of ask that question that always gets asked in a really vulgar kind of way, right, which is a question about relationships between Asians and Blacks, and you as a symbol of Asian Americanness, and your relationship to Blackness often framed in terms of hip-hop. But I think it's much larger than that, right? So my question is to thinking about the last 2-3 years, which have been so personally amazing for you, jarring, upsetting, big highs, low lows. You've gone through some sort of a transformative thing. My question has to do with what's been happening around the country taught you? How has that transformed you? Around questions of Black Lives Matter, around questions of race and gender. I wanted to ask you that before we threw it open to the audience.
Well, I think people in general around the world are sick of dealing with race because it's a social construct. It's not real. We're human beings. If you look at the genetic DNA we have, I did 23andMe, and it's really interesting. You know, I was always told, you are Chinese, right? I go and I see the map, like, you know, you might be part Mongolian, you might be part Korean, you also might be Aboriginal Taiwanese, and then Southern Chinese, and we're much more complicated and idiosyncratic and dense than we think we are. And there is not one race or modifier or definition that can actually explain who and what you are, right? And even if your genetic DNA can be traced to like one region of the world, it doesn't make us dissimilar. You know, culturally, we may be dissimilar. Culture is a beautiful thing. Culture is something humans create. But race is something that's in the ether. Do you know what I mean? Race is totally a social construct, but it's used to divide us, it's used to create animosity, and it's used to hold us down. When you do your work, creative work, whatever work, and when you're repping, don't feel like you need to think about what it means to be Asian, or to be an American, or to be West Indian, or to be black, or to be white. Be you. Right. Think about what it means to be you. Because by being you and being true to yourself, you are being the greatest Asian, American, black, Latino, you know, whatever it is that you are, just be you. Because the goal for all of us should be to be whole human beings. Like, we should all be sick of having to live out stereotypes. You're of this race, you can do this and you can't do that. Like, we shouldn't want to be 2/3 of a human being and fragmented and told we can only do this and we live in these silos. Be you. Because whoever you are, it's idiosyncratic, it's specific, and it's extremely dense. And it also probably shatters everything anyone thinks about you and your community. When my mom was like stuck at work with my dad and home late, she would always call me. And she would say, hey, I need you to like cut the scallions, I need you to defrost the chicken. She would always buy like the frozen black, silky black chicken, because you know, you go to the Chinese grocery store, the black chicken's always frozen, because they don't sell that in the neighborhood, it's always in the freezer section. So you gotta defrost the silky black chicken. And she would just tell me I was her prep cook. Whatever she was gonna make that night, I would get ready for her and lay it all out in bowls, and kind of like, before I ever knew what mise en place was, like, I had everything in its place for her, you know? But it was funny. Pretty much every recipe I know I got from my mom, except 2, 3 of them. And the first one I ever cooked was my dad's, because I wanted to make fried rice when they were at work one day. And I remember calling my pops and asking him how to do the fried rice. And he was telling me on the phone, all right, I gotta take the old rice, I got the old rice in the fridge. It's super hard. Get a little like medium heat oil going, chop the scallions nice and thin, saute them, get the scallions going, but don't burn them. Just like translucent green, right? Little shine to the green onions. And then go in and then put the old rice in. And you say, start breaking up the rice. Get each one heated up, get a little oil, get a little scallion on everything, and mix it up until that rice is soft and fluffy. And you flip it, and you flip it, and you flip it. And said, and put it to the side. And said, then you're gonna come and you're gonna like make some soft scrambled eggs. Scramble your eggs nice and soft. And then once you feel like you bring the rice back in, salt, white pepper. And that's how we learned to make fried rice. My dad would stage it out. And he taught me that technique, and I still use that technique all the time when I'm cooking. Because sometimes you go to a Chinese restaurant, you do like Chengdu stir-fried chili chicken, you eat it, you get like ginger bits, you get, you know, like leeks and things like that. I like to infuse the flavors into the oil, let that oil sit and go cook with that oil so you can eat the chicken without all the bits in your teeth and things like that. But I take that technique from my dad, the way he cooked fried rice. But that was the first dish, and I remember making it when I was 12, and I was like, you know what? I go to Chinese restaurants, they always have like frozen vegetables or the rice. Like you see some rice is brown and some rice is white, and you also very rarely get fried rice, like white fried rice, like Taiwanese style, just salt and pepper, white fried rice. And I was like, if I want to eat this rice, then I gotta make it myself. And that's when I started writing everything down, because in Orlando, there was only Cantonese restaurants. So anything Taiwanese I ate, anything Hunan style, anything Shandong style, Shanghainese food, like my aunts or uncles, we would eat, you couldn't go buy it. And so it made me realize at an early age that if I didn't preserve my culture, nobody else would. Growing up, I saw race in America as very binary. And I didn't need a degree to understand this. I just saw on TV, there's white people and there's black people. And the people in charge, I feel like, want us all to beef. And then I didn't see Latinos and I didn't see Asian Americans, and you know, you didn't see gay people on TV. You didn't see much diversity at all in the 80s. And I was very confused about who I was. But even before Michael, even before hip-hop, even before I read Thank You, Jackie Robinson and the Hank Aaron autobiography, or Huckleberry Finn and Jim, who, like, these characters and these stories changed my life. I remember going to the grocery stores, and I would pinch fruit. If I pinched fruit, my mom would smack me. She's like, stop losing the fruit, you're embarrassing me. Like, if you pinch the peaches, you have to buy them. And I was like, all right, stop pinching the fruit. And I remember sometimes there was, like, you know, the, like, blonde, kind of suburban trophy mom in Northern Virginia, just pushing her kid in the car, and this white kid is like knocking the oranges down. And it's turned, oh, do you mind helping me out with that? Like, and then just grocery people help her out, put it back up there, you know. And I see the Mexican guys that work on the Grooters put it back up. And I was like, huh. So they get to just like knock the fruit on the floor. And then I'd see Muslim families, because there are a lot of Muslim families, North African families in the Northern Virginia, DC area. Their kids touch fruit, they get smacked. I see black families and Spanish families, they touch fruit, they get smacked. And I was like, okay, so in America there are people who let their kids throw fruit on the ground, and there are people that smack their kids for throwing fruit on the ground. And that's what I saw. And I was like, I am part of the group of people who don't let their kids pinch fruit and throw fruit on the ground.
The moment that you kind of decide that you want to actually start a restaurant for yourself. And I'm wondering if you could kind of take us back to that moment and talk a little bit about what were some of the things that were driving you at that point? What were some of the ideas? What were kind of some of the emotions? What were kind of the chips on your shoulder that you had that you wanted people to knock off when you opened up a house in the Lower East Side of New York City?
Well, you know, growing up in Orlando, Florida, I've been silenced for a long time. Like, I went to 7 schools in 5 years, and I can give you the list. Like, I was thrown down a slide and broke my arm when I was a kid. I was pushed down on the floor and called a chink in 3rd grade and told to get to the back of the line. Teachers made me eat soap. I'm a natural left-hander. Even when I box now, I'm a left-hander. But I write with my right. I do everything with my right. My jumper is with my right, because this church school was like, that's the hand of the devil. Don't use the left. And, you know, I was constantly discriminated against. I faced a lot of physical racism. You know, not just people saying ching chong Eddie Huang, but physically pushed down and told, you cannot participate, get the fuck out. And I had to fight back, and I kept fighting back, and I was really upset because I was silenced, and I was counted out, and I was just like kicked to the ground all the time. But it made me tough, it made me who I am, and I didn't allow it to shame me and make me embarrassed of being Asian American. I remember all the stories my dad told me. I would watch all the movies at the Chinese grocery store. You know, you go to the grocery store, you can borrow the DVDs. I borrowed all the DVDs, I watched all the movies. I read Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Sun Kong, like Monkey King, and I was just like, this is a beautiful culture. We got better cartoons than you. You're never gonna say anything, right? Yeah. One of the privileges we do have, one of the opportunities we have, and something that we should have a responsibility to, is that our parents sacrificed and they built a foundation for us. You know, I was never, as you can see, missing a meal, right? this body did never miss a meal. I always had clothes. I always had shelter. These are huge. You know, these weren't things that were promised to our parents. These are things our parents worked for so that we didn't have to worry about it. So these are things that we can put in the rearview mirror and take for granted and say, all right, what else do I want? Let me move up Maslow's pyramid of needs. And so 2nd generation Americans are able to and have the opportunity to think about things like we're talking about in my second book, Double Cup Love. Identity, love, and equality. You know, these are things we demand. These are things that we're told we have the right to pursue, that in this country we will have the opportunity to pursue equally, and we want it, and we demand it, and it's fair. You know, and so that's I think, some of the main differences between the generations. At this time, when we talk about the generations of writers, a lot of times people write saying, "Oh, Eddie, you're the first, you're one of the first Asian American writers." There's a lot of great Asian American writers, Amy Tan, right? Maxine Hong Kingston, the Woman Warrior, all right? There's Jeff Chang, Oliver Wang, Chairman Mao at Ego Trip. One of my friends that I love, Mary H.K. Choi, been writing for the New York Times for a long time. Hua Shu. There's a lot of great Asian American writers out there. So, yeah, if y'all get a chance, read them.
What's the importance of maintaining transparency when having a show about culture and how people interact?
Well, the things that happen on camera are very different from the things that happen off camera, and I think it's all fair game, especially with myself, right? The editors will find things all the time that are kind of like disparaging to me or are embarrassing to me, but I'll say include it. That's fine, include it, because we need to be seen in front of and behind the camera. I really am interested in this idea of the suspension of disbelief, right? You have to believe in what you're seeing. On TV, you need to believe in what you're seeing. And for people to believe, we have to give them honesty, we have to give them truth. And so to keep your audience and to keep them going and to maintain that suspension of disbelief, like, we break the fourth wall. And so that's why we do it. And also because I think we have to represent people in the truest manner that we can, possibly. So, yeah, I'm glad you picked that up on that, because it is a huge convention of our show that not other shows do. Thank you. We start pre-pro on Thursday for Wong's World, so I literally go home tomorrow, I get 1 day, travel day, and I'm back in the office, and we are pre-proing the next season, so
Can you give us any kind of preview of what you got coming up in the next season?
Yeah.
Season 5,
on the
right?
board. Yes, we're gonna, my man, because there's no number between 3 and 5. Right. You know that. We don't say that number between 3 and 5. That's right. So I told Vice even, they're like, "Yo, so this is season," and I was like, no. The season 3 goes to season 5. It was very funny, like, teaching Vice these things. But no, we're looking to go to Tokyo, Seoul, South Korea. We want to do Puerto Rico, Kenya, Tierra del Fuego, the end of the world. Hawaii, I want to go to, and we want to go to the border between India and Tibet. So those are some of the places we're going to, and as always, the goal is to go and give people a platform and opportunity to speak through this show that are commonly misrepresented in global mainstream media. For all of us here, just remember, man, like, you see your shot, take it. You see your shot, you gotta take it. And one of my favorite chapters in this book, Double Cup Love, is I meet this massage therapist in China, Wei, and she keeps telling me, "You're a very special Chinese person. You're a very special Chinese person." And I don't understand what she's saying for a while, until the end, and I realized that being born in America is a privilege. There is not global mobility. You know, if you have family born in Mexico, if you have family born in North Africa or the Middle East or China, man, they're never going to get the opportunities you have. When you go to China and you go to some of these foreign countries, you start to see that it's not a rags to riches. Anybody can make it, anybody can come. No, if you make it here, you were lucky. You had to get lucky. You not only needed an opportunity and work hard and be smarter than everyone, but then you also had to be lucky and basically touched by the universe. And I think that as Americans, when you have an opportunity, you don't just owe it to yourself or your family. You owe it to all the homies from wherever you're from that are not here with you. You take that shot.